on another level, killing all the devils. Last time I said it would be the last time. Now try to liberate. I'm on the straight and now. I think I finally found out.
Welcome back with another episode of 7513 the podcast.
Like a little song.
Yeah, I was about to start spitting. You know, I'm in the mood.
I'm good.
7513 the podcast.
Okay.
Getting a lot of I'm done. That's the end of that already. But welcome back to another episode of 7513 the podcast. Thank you for joining. If this is your first time, we're going to do a quick round of introductions. The one that you currently hear on the mic, my name is your boy Ike, and I'll be your host for today. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it across the room to the fella in the corner next to the guitar. Nah, you, the other fella. Yeah.
Oh, I'm across the room? Oh.
Yeah, you never started before. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Snap. Yo, what a goo. What a goo.
Oh.
Gucci, see, that's how I know I don't start first. Yo, what a do, Bammers. My name is Todd Lay.
Yes, sir.
And I'm here to say hi.
You trying to rap too?
A little.
Who next? Rock, paper, scissors.
What it do? It's your boy,
We in for a ride.
Chief Zomway,
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
a.k.a. Back in the Day, a.k.a. Subway, a.k.a. Dante, a.k.a. Promway, a.k.a. Mama and Daddy, a.k.a. Edose Tyler,
Okay.
Camza, Camila,
But what's your name? Who are you?
He says I'm way.
At this point.
It's like, no, it's your boy Zomway. You already know what it is.
Dang.
That's nice. And last but certainly not least,
It's your boy Edose, your favorite runner and Sonic lover.
He do love Sonic.
Yep. See, hey man,
It's true.
that's my most skip username, man.
Sonic lover.
Sonic Lover.
Sonic
I
lover
remember
zero.
that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, if y'all see him, you know his favorite series, his favorite genre. If you want to get him something nice, get him a new Sonic game. Who knows? Go ahead and gift him. See
I
what's
already
up.
got it already. So,
Oh snap! Never
Yeah,
mind.
he don't even
Yeah, I
need
pre-ordered
you.
that joint.
You broke anyways. He don't need that.
Need you, boy.
Sonic Shadow Generations, play that joint, man. It's
Period.
Okay. But yeah, for those who are new and for those who've been here, we know what comes next. I'm gonna need participation from the crowd. If you're in your car, if you're at home, just close your eyes and stick your hands out front like there's a campfire right there. You can put your toes in there if you want.
Tell me
Yes, sir. Toasty. It's time for the icebreaker. Yes, sir.
Period.
So we like to start every episode with a nice little icebreaker to get us warm and cozy for the episode.
Yeah.
So the icebreaker I got for y'all, I think this is actually a good one. Get your thinking caps on. I want to know who y'all think from the Bible can fight.
Who I think you think?
Wait, but before you go, this not fighting music. But
It is. It's Knuckles joint. That's his background
I
music.
guess
And Knuckles do be fighting.
he be crushing people with a smooth jazz. But I want to lay some guidelines, right?
Okay.
So Samson is off limits.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
can't.
Like, who do you know or who you think?
Thinking of their character in the Bible, who do you think can throw hands, can brawl like the best fighter?
But we gotta like take out like the obvious fighters or like
Nah, just Samson. He's the only one that's off limits.
okay.
because we knew who could fight, you know. What is
What y'all think?
I mean obviously like David.
Yeah, he be throwing hands
David
for sure.
David caught a body.
All right, let's do this.
Honestly, you know who I think could fight?
Let's do top
Sorry.
3.
Top 3.
Oh, top.
Samson remove.
Samson removed.
You know who I think
Yeah.
could fight? It was just take one. Esther. That girl said, if I perish, I perish. She was about it, bro. She was about that action, dog.
Is that about that action or just being a martyr?
Listen, if I perish, bruh. If I say that, I'm ready to fight anybody, dog.
Okay.
Like, straight up.
I
She was
feel
about
it.
it.
I feel it.
I think Peter.
Peter?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
cut off that man's ear.
But he
Yeah,
brought
for-
weapons to a fist fight.
Yeah, that's what real fighters do.
That's what everybody
Yeah.
I'm talking
Call an
fist
ambulance,
the cuff.
but not for me.
Exactly.
Boy. One person I think people don't really think about, I think Deborah was throwing hands, right? For you to be someone where all the men going to war is like, nah, we need you there.
Yeah.
She had to
that's
know
true.
how to broad. She had to. So Deborah was probably she could hold her own and somebody else's own and the other person's own because she was essentially the general for sure.
My person
sure.
is Moses.
Moses, you think he'll fight or he just had
You know, back in the day,
he just had temper tantrum? Well, not
if
tantrum.
you have temper tantrums, like Axe 80,
He crashes out.
Remember 80 stories back? It's like it's pop off automatically.
Does that mean
He
you
killed
can
somebody.
fight, or does that mean you just be fighting?
He killed somebody.
When
But if you be
Moses-
fighting, more than likely you can.
Wait, when did Moses
Yeah,
kill
like-
somebody?
Oh,
When he was younger.
Yeah, he did. Back before
You
he
didn't
was
watch
leading
Prince
the
of
people.
Egypt?
I did. But I thought, oh yeah, when he like pushed that dude off, but that was like in the movie. I didn't know that happened.
No,
Nah,
it
he-
actually happened though.
Dang.
He unalived
Because
somebody.
someone was I think they were
TikTok?
mistreating a slave or something.
Yeah.
And then he just like
And
chill
he
out.
just crashed out.
That's why he ran away. Into the desert.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dang.
That'll do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
Moses.
he got
But that
hands.
don't mean he got hands though.
He does.
I feel like he snuck him.
Yeah. If
don't
that if that man turned around and was like, "What are you trying to do? What are you trying to get into?"
But he's like he's one of the guards. How you get snuck on as a guard?
He sucks as a guard. That don't mean he can't.
You have a weapon. He didn't even have a weapon. He killed him with his bare hands.
He probably didn't even think he was gonna kill him.
Yeah,
Exactly. He didn't know he had hands, but he just so happened to have hands.
I feel like it happened the way it did in the movie. He pushed that young off.
Push him off the cliff.
He pushed him off the cliff while he wasn't watching.
Nah, that's funny. But it's crazy too is you know who I wanted to fight in the Bible? Like genuinely, every time I read their verse.
yeah.
The girl, either Hannah or Peninnah, one of them. With the girl who couldn't get pregnant and the other girls making fun of her for not being able to get pregnant. I read that train, I'm like, dog, you should have dragged her, bro. Like, straight up. I would never forget reading that in Bible study the first time. I was instant my drag her, bro.
Bro, you know,
Grab
who
her hair and
got,
just
you know who got spiritual hands?
Oh,
Eli. Remember when they were joining on him? And they called out bears? He called out two bears on like
42 kids.
yeah, that was
All
crazy.
That young
children, bro.
Yeah, that was wild.
Nah,
That's the epitome of crash
OC crash out.
Goodness.
on kids.
Man,
Just
all
because they're calling you
were
bald.
yeah.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That's wild. It's actually crazy.
All
All
you
of
need
these
to do is just go to Turkey. You know what I'm saying? Like
turkey.
yeah, go to
Yeah.
Turkey to get the hair
Get the
transplant.
hair.
That's where they go?
Yeah, like how girls be going
never heard of
overseas
that.
for BBLs. Now they be going to
Go to Turkey.
Go to Turkey for hair
You know
transplant.
the old rhyme. You know,
Yeah, turkey.
like,
Turkey definitely is the
girls
number one
go
spot.
to Miami and boys go to Turkey. You know. No?
Never heard that in my life. I've never heard that in my life.
You just made
I'm
that.
trying to make it. I'm trying to make it a day. I'm trying to make it. Let's go to Turkey.
Is that like boys, girls go to Jupiter?
Yeah.
That's how he was singing it. I was like, what rhymes with turkey?
Boys go to college to get more knowledge.
I don't know. I gotta.
Burpee.
I'm workshopping it.
Okay, yeah,
But yeah.
keep working.
I will.
Keep
Don't worry.
working.
Next episode.
Next time, I got y'all, fam.
But yeah, nah, that Eli John. I always read that John.
It actually makes you think like how actually graphic the Bible is.
Yeah.
Very
That
much
joint is
so.
real. God don't pull no punches. He's like, yeah, this what happened.
None
People
whatsoever.
was dying.
Yeah.
We try to, make the Bible so cute and so
Very
soft
cutesy.
and-
Very demure.
No,
But that joint is not.
no, we're gonna bleep that out in post. I hate but yeah, you think we could come up with a top 3 fighters out of what we just
Top
mentioned?
3.
Top 3.
David got it. Well, he gotta be number 1,
David
right?
I guess
gotta-
David,
David's
Eli,
not
and,
number one.
Deborah.
How's
Samson number 1.
Samson's not in the
Outside
running.
of Samson.
Samson-
We had to take him
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Because he
Then
cheated.
that means, Samson,
He cheated.
Samson
How
is
he
number
cheated?
1. David's number 2.
Because he got superpowers.
So
He has superhuman strength.
okay.
Who's, no, that was Samson too. The
Samson
the
got all the
jawbone.
feats, bro.
Yeah, I was thinking like, who
He got all
killed
the
everybody with a
feats.
jawbone? I was like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
Samson.
Samson.
He-
I think
he got
David
all
got to
the
be
feats.
number 1 because he was wrecking lions and tigers and
Yeah.
bears
And Goliath.
and
Yeah,
Goliath.
Goliath. He caught a body, man. for
And
real.
people when he was going to war. So
Yeah.
he's number 1 for sure.
Yeah.
What about number 2?
Oh, you know who number 2 is? Y'all probably not hip. Jehu.
Oh yeah.
Jehu? What he
Jehu.
do?
That's my
For
favorite
those that
Bible
don't know.
character. For those of y'all that don't know, he was
don't
one
read.
of the
Me.
How do I call it? He was a judge or a king. No, he was actually a king. He's one of the kings that was sent to kill like Jezebel and Ahab and all them. And like the thing with him, I wouldn't even say he's like a skilled or he's like number 2 or whatever because he's skilled fighter, but just because he has charisma. Like he like the
Like
way
Naruto. He don't give up.
not even that type of charisma. So like the long and short of it was like when he got to Jezebel's place, she saw him from the tower and was like, all right, she was sending like one guy, hey, go see what Jehu wants. So then the guy came and was like, hey, Jehu, what do you want? He was like, just come follow behind me. Like Jezebel's messenger, he's like, no, come follow behind me. Then they're all still running heading to the Jezebel's joint. Then she sent another person, same thing, follow behind me. They don't even ask like, what, like he just has that aura.
Yeah.
And just like, yo, just join my team. Then he arrived to like the tower. She looked over. She was like, what do you want, Jehu? He didn't even answer her. He was like, hey, who's up there? And then like 2 of her servants came. He was like, throw her down. And they just threw her down.
So this man can wreck without laying hands
Without
on
touching
nobody.
anybody, bro. Like that guy, he was too fire, bro. That's why I say he's number 2 is like, if you thinking like ninja style, like that's some type of jutsu. That's like Itachi stuff.
Talk no jutsu, boy.
That's some genjutsu, boy.
And then who we got number 3? I feel like Deborah up there. I ain't gonna hold you.
I still feel like it's Peter.
Peter? One little ear, he don't
Peter's
got
overrated, honestly.
I mean, I go with Deborah. Yeah, she about
He
it.
don't.
Like,
Peter don't got no
Have
track
we
record.
seen Deborah? I know they said bring
Because
her
Peter
to the
was scared
yeah.
too.
I know they said bring her to the yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. But have we seen
To the
her
let up.
put hands on it?
Wait, Peter or Deborah,
gotta
who will
see.
win?
But you don't gotta.
Peter wins, right?
But you don't have to see.
Fine.
If you have an army full of fighters saying we want you to lead us, what does that tell you?
That you're a good strategist.
Nah, but okay, that's good. That's good. But
They're
back
not putting
then,
hands.
people who led,
They're not always fighting. I don't think
They are. Like when you had
Solomon fighting.
when you had a king, if you were a king leading people in the war, for you to be the king, you had to lead them into
Well,
war.
Solomon a wrecker or a lover, but he be smart.
Nah, but Solomon took over after his father.
All right.
What are you doing? He had a
just
time of
saying.
peace. He had a time of peace. He wasn't wrecking nobody. King David did all the fighting.
Yeah, I mean, how many? Look, I'm
Were
just
his
saying,
brothers still around when he was king? Solomon was king? I can't remember the timeline.
I know.
But I remember like David had other sons that were just reckless. So it was like,
Yeah,
Was
but
it
I know
peace?
David already conquered it and everything, and he was trying to build the temple. And
No,
no,
the
you
Lord-
didn't answer my question. Deborah versus Peter.
I mean,
I
who
think
bringing
Deborah got
bringing
it.
a knife to a fist fight?
It's not
think
about
that-
who's bringing the knife. It's about who's gonna win.
I think Deborah got it.
You think Deborah got it? You think Deborah got hands?
Yes,
Even though it's not documented?
you going to war.
Oh wait, what about
Alright.
Gideon? We didn't even mention Gideon.
Gideon had no confidence in
Nah,
the beginning.
nah.
At least of my
Peter has
people.
no confidence at all from beginning.
You're right.
Well, I mean to the end.
Nah, Gideon
I
can't
feel
fight.
it.
He just was
He just
really
what?
good at listening to the Lord. If you read what happened in Gideon's story, he didn't actually fight. He brought a trumpet and a jar of oil, and he threw the jar on the floor and blew the trumpet, and everybody started killing themselves. He didn't do that.
That's a type of
That's
fighting.
a type of
That's like
fighting.
Okay,
That's
maybe.
genjutsu.
that's like
Stuff right
genjutsu.
there.
Yeah. That's also
That's not
genjutsu.
really hands. Man.
You talking about like
Hands.
Rock Lee hands? Like
So you saying Deborah?
that's not the
Deborah
only
got
type
hands?
of
She
fighting.
got it.
All right.
You got people that use sand.
Man, boo.
Like-
Tomatoes.
Yeah, I hate this. But, I don't know if we're
we
going
can
to.
give Deborah number 3. It's fine.
All right, cool. So we got King David. We got Jehu.
And then
He don't really be fighting either, but it's okay.
know.
No, I didn't even go through his whole story. He be fighting.
This
Okay.
list is so
Y'all go
interesting.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, in conclusion, there's a lot of people in the Bible that can get the job done by any means necessary
Yes, sir.
through the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
So, yeah, y'all feel nice and toasty. It's warm in here.
Yeah. Okay. A little,
Okay, good. Because this topic is we need to be warm.
All right, bet.
We gotta shake it off. But
I was
what we
thinking about
got,
that song too.
what we got for today, right? I call this quality control.
Yes, sir.
Right. So what we really talking about? Before we even tell the people what that even means, I want y'all to follow me on the exercise. I want y'all to close your eyes. We're gonna go through a thought exercise, right? So just imagine all the good things in life. Eyes closed. Just be in a good space. I'm gonna give you a couple things and I want you to talk about how do you feel about those things? So I want you to think about the best clothing brand. Keep thinking, don't respond. Just think about how wearing or seeing the best clothing brand, seeing advertisements for it, how it makes you feel. The best movie. Okay, you got to picture the aspects to make a good movie, all those things. What do you feel? And then let's say like the best content creator. What makes them the best? What do you like to see? How do you feel about that? Y'all got those feelings?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What do y'all feel about the best in those categories? What makes you feel? What feelings arise when you think about those best things?
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction?
Yeah, I feel
That's a
like,
good word.
man, I'm watching this. I'm watching, or especially like clothes, like when it's like the perfect like cut and silhouette, and you look yourself in the mirror, you're like, dang,
Yeah.
I'm just like a snack. This don't look good. Like you feel satisfied, very, very. Satisfied.
That's a good word. Satisfaction. Eddie?
Yeah, I think. Dang, I don't want to copy Tale, but definitely
Copy me.
definitely like satisfied, but then also just like, man, this feel good. Like,
Okay. Yeah, this feels good.
yeah, this feel good. There we go.
For me, I think like relatability, like something that tells a story that you can connect with.
You can see yourself.
Even with like clothes,
Yeah.
because people pick clothes because like that's part of my style.
Yeah.
It represents me the best. Same thing with like a movie. You can like connect with the main character or whatever.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you mentioned? Movie.
Clothing brand, movie, and content creator.
Yeah. Story, even in the sense of like how they tell a story, like if it's attracting, like it's an attractive story, like it draws you
That's so interesting.
to support it, kind of thing.
Yeah. I actually think, funny enough, when I think of those and I'm imagining, I actually think of quality. Like, dang, this thing is nice.
Top tier.
Like, they put effort in this. They, like, this, yeah, that's what I think. So we're going to do this again. Close your eyes.
Uh-oh.
If you're on the car.
My eyes are tired.
Your eyes are tired?
Then close it.
Wake up. All right, now let's think of clothing brand, movie, content creator. And I want you to slap the word Christian in front of that and think of the best version of that. Why are we laughing? Why are we laughing?
I'm so sorry.
Why are
I'm
you
so
laughing?
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Why was that so funny?
Keep going.
Because the way you said it, honestly, you said slap Christian.
Yeah.
Okay, slap Christian in front of
All right.
clothing brand, Christian clothing brand.
I'm
Think
doing
of the
it.
best Christian movie. Think of the best Christian content creator. Why are we already sick? Okay, just keep thinking. Let's get through the exercise. Okay, you thinking, you're imagining, you see how you feel, what you see. Oh my God!
Tomatoes.
My bad.
Let's get through the
Ignore me,
exercise
ignore me,
first.
ignore
Let's
me,
get through the
ignore me.
exercise. Okay, you thinking, you pondering. Even though it's at home, if you thinking, you're pondering. Don't close your eyes while you're driving, but ponder. All right, now, open your eyes. What do you feel?
Darkness.
Wait, I said a box.
Darkness.
Darkness is wild.
No, stop it.
Sorry, let me stop.
I said I feel a box. You're saying?
A box?
Yeah.
Box is a feeling? Oh, you feel like you're in a box.
They can't. Oh, feel. I thought you meant to describe it. Yeah, box. Like I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Boxed in.
Boxed in a little bit.
Claustrophobic. Okay. What about
Pass. I feel incomplete.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm so sorry.
you could be honest. This is a safe space.
It doesn't feel safe.
Say it don't feel safe.
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, day.
I already said it, darkness.
Darkness.
Darkness is wild.
That's the first thing that came to mind, honestly.
Are you sticking with darkness?
I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
That's my man I'm sticking beside him.
Oh, God. But I say for me,
bad.
it's Oh man.
Yeah, what do you
Honestly,
do?
because I guess it's like it's
Kind of.
Did you say emptiness?
No.
Incomplete?
Incomplete.
I think when I say darkness, I mean like empty. Because when I was thinking about it, I was just thinking like I can't put there's an empty space in there. It's like void.
That's why I said box. I feel like
Darkness.
Whoa.
Okay, this is getting deeper than I expected.
yeah, man, you know.
I drew
But
a
now
blank,
that's-
literally.
That's what I unfortunately resonate with or feel is like I said quality at first, and I think of lower quality typically when you put Christian in front of it. Which, if I'm being honest, is a little sad. I don't think it should be that way, but that's some of the feelings or what I see when I think of that as well. So I wanted to ask, one, do we even resonate with that? Do you agree? Like typically, what is this? Christian creativity or Christian outputs or products are of
I think we can put it all under Christian content / media /
Christian content / media
art.
/ art
Yeah. Or Christian
creativity.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we think there's truth to that? Do we think there's usually well, let me talk about why do we feel the feelings that we feel. That's what we need to start. Why do we feel the feelings that we feel when we slap Christian in front of what we were just talking about?
I think generally speaking, yes, there's like a decline in quality when you put Christian in front of it. I'm not saying like all Christian content is like that, because like we're Christian content.
Oh, snap.
We all have like other things we enjoy that are Christian as well. But I think the majority and like what is broadcasted most of the time is usually lower quality.
Yeah, the reason why I said box, I feel like a lot of Christian content in box can be somewhat predictable, especially in Christian movies. Like,
Yeah, cliche.
very cliche. Like, oh, something happened. We prayed. God came through. Yay! Like,
Yay.
I mean, you don't praise God. Like, but
No, I feel
it'd be
it.
the same. I don't know. That's just me.
It's okay. We could be critical of Christian stuff. This is a safe space.
You're right. It is.
Sally is really like suffering over here.
I mean, I'm saying incomplete because it's like, bruh, it stops short, bruh. It you know, in terms of like production of things, I think one place that in the production line that a lot of Christian content or creativity stops is, funny enough, quality control, QC.
Yeah.
Like, you let anything out if it does the quote unquote mission that, or you know what? Okay, I got a better word. I don't want to
Okay.
use incomplete
Is
because
this-
that's mean.
Is this Tyler's word of the day?
Yeah,
Okay.
the word of the day is utilitarian.
Okay.
Utilitarian.
What that mean?
Basically, it means that like something being made strictly for use. Something, you know, easily put out or anything like that, because it's not about what it looks like or what it sounds like or whatever. It's just like about what it does.
Utility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
utility, based word utility, like usage.
Get the job done.
Exactly.
Not the best tool,
Exactly.
but it gets the job done.
Exactly. And I think a lot of Christian everything, it's like the main mission is to spread the gospel.
Yeah.
And they're definitely spreading it. So the mission is done, but you know,
But is it though? I'm actually going to challenge that.
the reason, I mean, yeah, in the sense of like, okay, if you have a shirt and it just says Jesus and it's a shirt from, I don't know, some like, I don't know, off-brand, whatever.
Yeah.
Quality, the cotton don't matter, and all that stuff. The shape,
The
the silhouette.
cotton don't matter.
Hey, I put out a shirt. I put out a shirt. It says Jesus.
Yeah.
I put it out.
Yeah.
I did it. I did the job. You know what I'm saying? And I think
kinda,
therein
yeah.
lies the thing. It's like making a house, right? It's like, look at a lot of like the newer houses being made. Very cookie cutter, very You know,
Them townhouses.
them townhouses that look like, you know, it's just a box.
It is.
It's a box with a few other boxes. You know
Tall
what I'm saying?
box.
Yeah, tall box with small box, and that's very utilitarian. That's it's very utilitarian of them to make those boxes because it's easy, it's simple.
You can
It
fit a lot of
you can
people
fit
in there.
people exactly. But where's the sauce? Where is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I think when I said incomplete, I feel like now I have a better word.
Utilitarian. Nah, that makes sense. And as I'm thinking as well, I'm also thinking why that happens. And I have a theory, which I expressed to some people outside, just like in conversation and things like that. And this is why I also brought up why I said, is it like actually completing the mission? Because in doing that, of course, it's always better. You can compare it to the different things. So it's mainly about like, what is the best thing that you can put out, right? If you put out something and that's the best based on your skills that you have at the moment, and I think, okay, you're completing the mission. Like you're good. But when there can be better and you kind of choose not to do better, I'm also thinking of like, what does that say about God? Right? Because God is creative. Look outside. Look at nature. Look at the stars.
yourself.
Look at yourself. Look at the type of people that he created to be able to do all of these creative things. So there can't be a question of whether God is creative. But you creating something and you are saying this is for God or this is an example of God, what are you telling people about God? Are you saying that, oh yeah, when you make things for God and about God, automatically expect the quality to be lower because you know that it's about God? And I don't like that feeling at all.
But I mean,
I've wrestled with that for a while. I don't like that. And I also think that's similar why we started the podcast. Like,
that is why we started. But I mean, I think I think I look at because even in the world, look at what they if you bring like, let's say you bring up a group of rappers, right? Or let's say they bring up a group of rap songs, and you hear like bars, quality, all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then you bring up like, you know, a certain whatever Christian rap song. Somebody would be like, they're not gonna look at it in the same objective eye. Like people just naturally accept. Cause like they're gonna be like most often they're gonna be like, oh, but I mean it's Christian. It's like it's chill. Like it's Christian.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna be like, yo, where your bars at, where your flow at, where your, they be
Yeah.
like, it's
This
Christian.
is Jesus.
It's Jesus music. Like, man,
Jesus
come on, man.
music.
Like why you
tripping?
Why you being so harsh?
Yeah.
The bar is like so low when
It's
it comes
lower.
to like if you put anything Christian, like all right, you're good.
Yeah,
because you're doing it for God.
You're doing it for God.
But it's not.
Don't.
And I think
Don't
like
that.
the audience as well is just like that's just what they want.
We
Play
don't
a
push
big
them.
role.
It's like the Christian creators create for like the Christian audience, and the Christian audience doesn't care about like bars per se. They care.
Are you sure that's what they want, or is that's just
think-
because it's the only option?
No,
I think
it's
there's
what they want.
There's like a different different kinds of audience. So like there's a type of audience that wants to just feel good and just feel like, oh, everything's about Jesus and like roses and heaven and yeah. And they don't really want to hear about like, oh, the nitty gritty about this or real life, like what happens every day. Because every day is not roses. It's like, but people would want to hear like just uplifting messages constantly, like within the Christian community. So there's that type of audience. And I feel like the Christian creators that we're talking about that are quote unquote low quality to us is because we're not that audience. We're more, I would say more rounded. When they're talking about just like, oh, everything is like cliche, it's like, it doesn't really resonate with us.
Yeah, I guess I would. I guess I want to try to clarify something because you mentioned about like the audience and them wanting to feel good and for it to be uplifting, things like that. And I wanted to say like with that, since we're talking about quality, there can be a high quality version of something uplifting that gives them what they want, and there could be a lower quality version of that. And although the audience is still the same for both, right? One is objectively, as far as objectively, I don't want to say better, but objectively better than the other when it comes to the art of what is being presented.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Edison wanted to say.
Yeah, I pretty much almost agree with everything. Not even almost. I agree with everything that Hide said, because that was one of my points I meant by box, right? I feel like when it comes to Christian media, the fan base is very, like, if you have to say Jesus at all times, or else they're gonna look at you like you're not Christian. What is wrong with you? Why
What
do
you
you do
talking
this?
about?
What are you talking about? You don't make Jesus. You fell off. You don't make Jesus music anymore.
Fell off is crazy.
And I think, and not even like fell off of talent, just fell off the faith completely. And so I think that the audience tends to put the people the creators in a box as well. And so I think that the Christian creators, they wrestle with that often as well, where it's like, dang, like, I feel like I want to put this out. I know my core fan base is this, but they're the ones who supply me, they help me eat at night. So I'm going to, continue to put this thing out right here. And then two, it also is the reason why I feel like a lot of Christian rappers will say they're rapper who just happens to be Christian instead of just just saying like, they're a Christian rapper. Because when you say you're a Christian rapper, like when you slap Christian on top of something, it definitely adds a level of critique and criticism that a lot of people don't necessarily really want when they want to just express, their art or create their content.
That's true.
Yeah, I hear that. And I actually think what you guys are saying is a slightly different conversation. Because, right, when you talked about the aspect of, are you Christian anymore, or things like that, I think even that person having that question, right, it's like, are you making Christian content? And this is why I want to clarify, like, if it is Christian content, we're talking about the quality of Christian content.
Yeah.
Someone who is Christian can make both Christian content, and they can also make both secular content, right? And I don't use secular as bad. Secular just means something that is not explicitly God. So something secular doesn't automatically mean it is wrong, it is bad. Again, it's not explicitly Jesus loves you, things like that. So when somebody who was a Christian fan of yours and you are making Christian content and you now make secular content, I think it's okay for them to question, not saying that the conclusion of what they're asking is correct, but it's okay to be like, okay, is this still Christian content? Or if it's not, that is fine. But if it is, whatever it is, like, there's quality for whatever box or whatever lane that they are in. And that's what I'm talking about. When it is Christian content, why does the quality automatically differ?
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
What is exactly Christian content? Because I'm thinking like, so like the Bible is Christian content, right? But the Bible doesn't only have what we're considering, I guess, like non-secular topics or concepts.
Yeah.
They have books about love. They have books about Lamentations.
Not as good.
They have like killing, and they have like violence, and they have like
just
sin.
talked about
Like you just talking about people getting thrown out of windows
That's
and
good.
stuff. So like, do you not consider that, or not you per se, but I'm saying like people that call it Christian or not Christian, like, do you consider these parts of the Bible like non-Christian concept?
That is a great question.
Because that's why I'm saying like the audience, they're kind of looking for a particular Christian.
They only want to read.
They only want the good.
one
They only
book.
want the worship and the we're
the
going to
happiest
heaven and I'm going against sin and I'm just gonna love on Jesus and love on my neighbor and love. And they don't want to hear about temptation. Like you're going to be tempted.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear about like, I don't know, like just the hard stuff. Like the real stuff. That's what I'm saying. So what is Christian content?
That is, we could try to define it, because I think what immediately comes to mind is like Christian content is anything that the subliminal and or the overt tries to push you towards a better understanding of God. And that doesn't mean you have to say Jesus, right? You can describe the character of God without saying Jesus.
Yeah.
You can, but are the morals and the concepts biblically
Pointing
back?
to God.
Yeah, that's what I immediately think. I don't know if we agree with that.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I think I was actually gonna say because I kind of see where we were kind of going in the weeds, and I wanted to like kind of bring it back like you were trying to do. The lower quality of like quote unquote Christian content as we defined it. I think there's so many different parts.
Let's talk about them.
Let me give like a bigger sample size that's like a little easier, right? Because like I said, music is our bag, so music is a lot easier for me to
The Duffy.
Yeah, music exactly. So it's a lot easier for me to like use that. Let's do like sample sizes, right? There's a reason why the number one artist, some of the number one artists, top artists in the world is like Drake and Taylor Swift, right?
Okay.
They make easy, digestible music, large quantities of it that are so simple because we never talk about that. You know, we want to talk about like lower quality. Hey, Swifties, please don't kill me.
You're toast.
Okay.
Oh no! But in reality, Taylor Swift, her music is like pretty milquetoast. It's pretty. It's pretty. You know, it's not
Okay.
terrible. She doesn't
Yeah.
make bad music, but her music isn't something that like you're not gonna write a dissertation about. You know, we got bad blood. We're not gonna write it. You know what I'm saying? It's not deep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same thing with like a lot of Drake's music. It's like it's not deep, so it's able to catch a large audience real easy.
Yeah.
Now let's take that sample size and put it to the Christian community, right? Whoever the equivalent of those people in whatever content, whether it's clothing or whether it's movies, especially like movies, you want to catch the largest audience, right?
Okay.
So you don't want to do something
Too complex.
too complex,
edgy, yeah.
too even like let's look at like worship songs, right? The
progressions,
the easiest worship songs are the ones that are gonna catch the whole audience and take them to where they're supposed to go. That's where I was talking about the utilitarian.
Yeah.
Because like if I play for those that are music theory, a simple progression is 1-4-5-1, right? And
You missed like all of the audience.
I know. Don't worry about that. Just know that that's
what you're hearing.
That's what you're hearing
That's
at a
what's
lot of
taking you
Jones.
to the next
That's what's gonna
the realm.
right? So it's like you play that and you play that over and over again and just like talk and sing and you can sing multiple songs over that. Like that's gonna get a lot of the audience and take them where they're supposed to go. And that means you did the job.
Yeah,
right?
gets the job done.
You get the job done. But somebody is like, all right, I'm not trying to like go to the upper room. I'm just trying to listen to music, but I want to listen to something Christian and I'm listening to that. That joint's gonna probably be, you know, it's probably not gonna hit that well, you know? Or, you know, it might, but I don't think it's gonna satisfy you creatively as much as you would want it. So that's the reason why the quality is lower, because it hits a lot of audience. You want to hit a lot of audience. You're not trying to make a niche. Because let's look at all the like crazy movies that we love, right? Like, yeah, of course, people like MCU movies, like comic book movies, and that joint's gonna bring in a lot of people. But those joints are not like the best movies objectively.
Yeah. Nah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like in a certain field, of course, like objectively, art. The
like
most high quality things are usually very
a little
niche.
bit more niche. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
so
get that.
With Christian content, even like clothes, you don't want somebody to like look at like clothes and be like, I don't know. Even like, let's say like the cut of clothes, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, something maybe a little cropped or something a little. You don't want somebody to be like, I don't know if I can get this because what if this is what's the word? This is not, it's immodest or it's different or it's something. So with Christian content and Christian stuff, there's like that added layer that he was talking about. Because let's say it's a shirt, it's gonna cover everything, but like it's like created like Yeezy type shirts, you know, the way it hangs, the way it moves, and you're like, I don't know if this is gonna be a distraction. I don't know if this is gonna do this or do that. It's pushing the envelope and it looks tough.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. And then that's going to lose a sale. So it's like, okay, instead of doing that, I'm just going to take this joint, slap Jesus on it, and then just give it out.
Call it a day.
And call it a day. Somebody's going to be like, damn, that joint got Jesus on it. Cop. Cop. Like, it don't even matter what's on it. It doesn't even matter, like, the style or the silhouette or the fit.
Yeah.
It's like, that joint has Jesus on it. I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
So,
now that makes a lot of sense. And I was also thinking, right, just like the bar that we talked about as well, because as you were talking about, you know, you mentioned Drake or whoever, what was the lady name? Taylor Swift, right? And I'm also thinking, just for me listening and like processing, right? I'm also thinking like, okay, they're not objectively the best thing, but what they're trying to do, right? That quality of what they're doing, I would still think is above the
you're
quality
right.
of comparatively of Christian content that is
Why
aimed
is
to do
that?
this. And that's what I'm trying to
you
figure
know,
out.
it's
And
so difficult to figure out.
I have a theory.
All right, what's your
right?
theory?
And
What's your
we
theory?
played around with it a bit. And I think there's an overemphasis on trying to prove that you are Christian rather than you just being Christian and having that flow and lift through the content that you are creating.
Hold on.
Right?
But
Go ahead.
okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
But
go
like,
ahead.
because I was thinking about like even like production, like beats. Why are beats different?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. So I really don't know.
thing too,
But I
though.
think
You said what?
It could be like a budget thing as well, though.
probably
Yeah, resources.
Probably.
Some people.
But there are a lot of people that made some fire stuff, you know, mixtape
with
days.
nothing.
But
With a
it's-
cracked
I
Fruity
think it's
Loops.
mainly the mindset thing that
Yeah.
we just need to get the job done. We don't need to go all out. So it's like
that, and let me finish my theory.
Oh, yeah,
that
sorry, my bad.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I
Go ahead.
think in some cases, not all, there's an overemphasis in trying to prove or show that this is Christian content, right? And in that, you kind of sacrifice the art part of what you are producing for more emphasis on, okay, I got to make sure that this is Christian, right? You build a movie, you're like, okay, as long as it's Christian, like I'm good. Instead of like, I am making a movie. There are objective things that go into what makes a good movie. I need to make sure that these
I
things
hit
are,
those
I
marks.
hit these
Yeah.
things, and I am also providing Christian
Conveying that,
content, right?
yeah.
And I think when you know that you're a Christian and when you live that, you don't actually have to overemphasize in proving that you are, right? I believe it should just flow. It's kind of like this issue when people become Christian and they're living, and then there's this perception of this idea that now when you become Christian, you get boring or you get lame and things like that.
Yeah.
And that is, in my opinion, is the same thing. Like there's an overemphasis on trying to prove that you are now Christian instead of taking the character and what God gave you, the creativity and the character and everything that you are, and pushing that through the filter of Christianity and having the outcome on the other end. And I think that is part of why it's like, dang, you spend so much time prove this, and you forget about, okay,
Everything
just
else.
make a good product as well. And then that part is kind of missed. That's one of my theories.
that's a good theory.
That is a
Yeah.
really good theory.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's a good theory. And then, two, I think the Christians themselves we need to demand better. Like, we need to demand better, bro.
Yeah, that was the
Say it
second
again.
part.
Wait. Say it again.
That's part
We
of it.
Christians need to demand
There it
better.
is.
Like, cause I seen Facebook one joint. I was on Facebook this couple years ago, and there was some movie that came out, and that joint was not good. And the person was just like, "Well, as long as the gospel's being preached." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And it just blew me because I'm like,
Thank you.
I'm like, that can't be like gospel being
bars-
preached is bare minimum.
bars
Like,
low.
there has to be some like.
There has
you're
to
not-
be critique.
There has to be critique. There has to be some levels of
But
stuff.
that's
like,
not
you're
loving.
gonna-
Huh?
That's not loving.
Like,
What?
you really don't. Like, no, for example, right? If you get hurt, right, you want to go to the best doctor. You don't care if they're Christian or not. You just want to go to the best person. So,
So let's keep it a
we
beam.
Christians need to be the best. Like,
Yeah.
we need to be the best in whatever it is that we try and do. We might not necessarily be the best, but we have to
Excellent.
aim to be the best. You know,
Listen.
Nah, that's
Spirit of
good.
excellence.
Christians, it's okay to say something sucks. Please.
It is.
I'm so serious.
It is.
I used to be so against. I'd be like, no, I'm not the audience. Somebody out there's gonna love it. Yeah, somebody out there gonna love it, but it still sucks, bro. Like, and I think it's okay because if you say that don't suck, either somebody's gonna give up, and that means it was.
Hey, yo, that's crazy. Give up and go to where they're actually
go where they're supposed to go.
That's true, though.
You're not supposed to even be there.
That's
right.
true.
If you make music and that joint is not tough, and people are telling you that joint's not tough, maybe you're not an artist. Maybe you are some other third thing.
Yeah.
Or they take that and they go, dang, I got to make myself better.
Yeah.
And then they make it better. And then we have good stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
Simple.
I think we are afraid. I don't even think there's like really, you don't really see like Christian critique. But the area that you do see it on, where we're actually really good at, is why we have really good teachers and preachers and things like that.
That is true.
They get critiqued a lot. And I think, you know,
but not their product, not like the quality of their product.
Yeah, not the quality of the product, but like
they want to know if they false teachers or not. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We Christians, we love calling out false teachers, but we don't like calling out bad quality.
Yes, sir.
We gotta change that.
Yeah, so in that teaching, preaching space, even now we see the quality of teachers and preachers and communicators. It's increased. The people who are the most popular now are great communicators. Like the art of teaching and speaking, they have that down pat. Now there are people who just have the art of teaching and don't have no spirit behind it, and they also get elevated, and that's where we need to be careful. But say all that to say, like, that is an area where they get critiqued a lot, and they've probably been critiqued since the inception of preaching and teaching, where the quality is really good versus the creative space. There is no critiquing. There is like, oh, it's good
As long
enough.
as they say Jesus, that's it.
It's good. We need some. Hey, the Lord. If you listen to this, the Lord can call you to be a Christian critic. We
Christian
need
movie critics.
you need critics, and it's not to tear down people. Like, you can uplift the motive of what they're doing and still be like, no, pick better angles. No, pick a better transition.
Do some better color grading.
Color grading. The backing track was not tough. Get better actors, please. Get
better actors.
But that costs money, though.
It does.
So another thing we need to do, honestly, we need to put more
money
funds and more money into like all these things we're creating, because the world has
what do
the
you
money.
mean?
Yeah, that's part of it. That is part of it, because like we can say all of this stuff that we want more high quality Christian content, and then when there is higher quality Christian stuff being out there, do we even pay for it? Do we even buy it?
Stuff costs money.
Exactly. So that is a part of it. So what comes first? Both. There's. I think you support and you critique, right? Because you can't say
they can go both ways.
It's a balance,
Because
you have to have both.
Oh, and that was a question for the producer. He said, "What comes first? Is it the bands or is it the support?" What'd you say? Is it demanding better or supporting?
If we're supporting what's already out there, then
I don't know. I think you support the stuff that are doing. Because
no. I think you demand better first, and then you be like, you know what? Like, yo, that don't suck. Let's get you into like some acting.
It's at the same time. I think you do it
support
together.
like watching it though. Like you watch it first, and then you critique it, and then you like demand better.
Yeah, I mean, but I didn't pay for it.
You have to also you also have to gauge like where it's at, right? If you know that, you don't put an indie film on the same quality as all of these other films that have bigger budgets and stuff. So you judge it based on where they are. And if you see the promise of support, you support.
If you see that they're staying in that place for years and there's no growth, then you can be like, all right.
I don't know, man.
What you think? What's the wrestle?
I'm looking at movies, and one of the most awarded movies, it was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
And that was low budget.
And that joint was in comparison to like all the other joints. Avengers is like, or all these big budget joints are like hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think like everything was like a milli. And they became the most awarded, as in like they won the most awards of all time.
Yeah.
And that's because they didn't have that many sets. They didn't have that many VFX people. I think they had only like a team of like 6. Like they had good actors.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. A lot of the budget went into paying the actors. Even then the actors took like pay cuts and stuff like that, because they were just like, oh, I just want
to be a part of this.
And I want this guy to be back in the limelight.
Okay.
Kizu Kwan, they wanted him to be in the limelight so bad. They were like, yeah, let's take pay cuts and all that stuff. And do that. They made one of the best movies of all time with like, it's so patronizing is good. Patronizing is going to help most certainly. I really do.
I don't
think
like that word.
patronizing.
Yeah, it sounds.
Oh, my bad.
Too
I mean, it's
aggressive.
a good
critiquing.
if you use it the right word.
Oh, my bad. When I say
You're right.
patronizing, I mean like
Critiquing.
putting money into it,
Oh,
like being a patron.
I don't read my dictionary.
It's okay.
apparently.
My bad.
You can use it for good
Yeah.
or bad.
Yeah, or bad. So putting money into something is definitely a fix. It's definitely a fix. But I really do think there should be more emphasis on the critique and constructive criticism. I really, really, really do. I really think that, you know, if somebody went to school for film also, which is a putting money into something.
Yeah.
You know, you send somebody to school, like let's say like this person really like you, but even then, for them to even go to school, there has to be a glimmer of
Hope.
something.
Yeah,
A lot of people want
that
to make
is.
these movies just, I mean, no, I'm not no shade, but like just to spread the gospel. They're not trying to make a movie because it looks good. Like
They're not
whoa.
trying to make a good movie.
They're not trying to make a good movie. They're
Yeah.
trying to make a movie that spreads the gospel. But it's like you can make a
both.
good movie
That
that spreads the gospel.
gospel, yeah.
They don't have any passion for it. There's also, I think that's another aspect. There's no passion. There's no, you don't care about art. You care about the outcome. You have a goal.
Oof.
And
Sorry.
you want to reach that goal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Whether it's put money in my pocket or put money in my church or
Yeah.
spread the gospel. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you make clothes, you make merch, right?
Yeah.
You're not making merch to like, oh yeah, I have a album drop. Here's some merch on the side that will not only give me money,
Yeah.
but also will like help spread my body of work that I really cared about and put
Yeah.
time and money into. A lot of times it's like, oh yeah, I'm just making this junk. It spreads the gospel and it gives me money. But it's like, do you care about fashion? Probably not.
Yeah.
Do you care about what you look like
Yeah.
in the clothes? Probably not.
I think another aspect, because we were talking about money as well, and that's why I think supporting is really good, because a lot of people who will probably want to dive into the Christian area of that type of content probably don't see a future for it, so they
Yeah.
can't really do it because it's not sustainable.
That's true.
And that's what I'm talking about, supporting those things that, because in all this, one thing I want to make clear, we're not saying all Christian content is of low quality.
No way.
I can actually name some that I've witnessed recently that I really, really think is like, this is our glimmer to higher quality, right? One thing, Angel Studios, y'all doing the thing. Keep it up. Everything you support, I'm probably going to be in there. Another one is The Chosen.
That's what I was about to say.
The Chosen
I know the chosen.
is
Chosen is like that.
high quality
Yeah.
content. I
Hey.
cried on multiple episodes. That thing is good.
I hope they make more money.
That thing is good.
Yeah.
So like if we put money to elevate those higher quality things, maybe the expectation is like, okay, in order to make it, like it does have to be higher quality. But as we get to the general quality being above, we also have to be like, okay, we're gonna support some effort. Like some places gonna be, you could tell when some of you just didn't try. It's just like, bruh,
I'm not gonna give you any. I'm not gonna give you a single cent.
come on.
It's not a single cent.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's hard though too, because I feel like art, like we as the critics or whatever, it's easy to critique, and at the same time, it's hard to actually create, right? And to Tale's point, I think there does have to be a love of like actually doing the thing versus just spreading the gospel. Like, the gospel is a result, like a byproduct of whatever it is that you do. But you have to really enjoy that thing that you do, or else one, you're gonna get burnt out, and two, the quality gonna be trash because you actually don't really like that thing. You just care about the gospel being preached. You can preach the gospel to your neighbor over there, so like do that. But
Yeah.
but I think like just actually loving the art itself is also just important. Like loving like the act of doing or whatever it is you're trying to create is extremely important.
Yeah, that's hard. With that, and maybe like because there is, what is it, lack of representation in some of those places, maybe sometimes people don't feel like they can love X and pursue it and be Christian, right? Maybe it's like, now that I'm Christian, I kind of have to give it up because I actually don't see a Christian version of this this space. and maybe we're missing out on people that can help fix this problem by not encouraging those talents and those things, and
It's
being like,
hard
there
though,
is a way
man.
to do X and still be Christian. Because I know it's hard. Like, just some industries that I'm thinking of that is extremely hard, like fashion. Look, if the Lord called you to do fashion and be Christian, I am praying for you. I know that it's hard. I know that a lot of stuff goes on there. I know that to get in the door, you gotta shake hands with people you don't agree with. Fundamental, like, I know same thing with probably like movies and things like that,
Yeah.
and actors. I know that is extremely difficult. Like, that reminds me, like, we in our community, we're supporting one of our younger guys who does acting, and like he mentioned like just the struggle of like, in the time that he was doing acting in school, it seemed like every single script or play was about being gay. And it was like, dang, like not the characters that he was going for, but just like the script had something about that. And it was like every single script, it felt like it was pushing an agenda. And that was like a struggle. Or just like, maybe you do have to take scripts or things that you also don't, it doesn't have to even be gay, but scripts that you don't really care or agree with, but that's because that's the only way to act or to push things out. So maybe we also should encourage people to be independent creators as well. And then,
But how far is that gonna take?
I don't
you?
know.
Cause I'm listening to all this. I'm just like, so what is the answer? Like what?
That's the
'cause
dilemma.
What
That's
you were
the
saying as
dilemma.
well. I'm thinking about not only like the people that want to create in that space, but the souls that are in that space that are not necessarily being reached.
Yeah.
Because you're not even on that quality to be in the room at all.
Yeah,
So I'm like, how do you? Ouch. Yeah, I'm thinking like
they're not even gonna let you in the room.
I'm thinking from my perspective of like music, for example. Like for me to be in a room with certain people, my music
Gotta be
has
tough,
to be
bruh.
top tier quality.
Yeah.
And for that to happen, you have to have the resources, you have to have the skill, you have to
The passion.
market and passion, everything.
And you
But it's
still
like,
also got to be saved.
Yeah.
so like, where's the balance? Like, who's gonna reach those people? Is my
Yeah.
question. Because I often hear like the excuse, like, oh, it's like, as long as it's for God, like God will take care of that. Like Holy Spirit's gonna can touch anybody. It's like, yeah, but
So what is the point of
practically
view?
speaking, like what does that look
So-
like? Like, is my little independent cheesy Christian movie gonna reach like? I don't.
No,
it's like,
at this
you know
point,
what I'm
we don't
saying?
want it to be
Martin
cheesy.
Scorsese.
Regardless of how.
Exactly, like
But I guess a question to that question as well, as far as like reaching those people in those fields, does that come from a place of like, now you're compromising in order to show
No, I'm
that
not
you're of higher quality, or does that come from a place of like, yeah, that's,
I don't think you're
I'm not
compromising
saying
at all.
No, I'm not
Okay.
saying compromising.
Like you could be
I'm just
so
saying like how.
tough at music
yeah,
that like
they just gotta
they
respect.
just gotta
the craft.
respect. Like they don't even care. Like, oh yeah, you a Christian, you this. You're just that tough. You're
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
It comes it like, and there are some people like that. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter like what you say. You could be, yeah, you know, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Da, da, da. You could say all that stuff, but those young could be like, but you're so tough. They'd be like,
The wordplay, yeah, all of that.
I gotta give him his props. I
think-
gotta invite him to the jump.
I think what it is sometimes with Christian creators, some of them, like you said, is like you're just putting like Jesus on the shirt, and it's like there's nothing that I can really connect to. Like, let's say I'm not a Christian, I just see Jesus on the shirt, and you're just like preaching Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. It's like, okay, like you're kind of forcing it down my throat, but like, why should I buy in, quote unquote, to this Jesus thing? And
Yeah.
I feel like Christian creators don't really focus on the I guess like emotional and like just other aspects of
craft.
why you are a Christian yourself.
Yeah.
Like what inspired you to be a Christian, to follow God? What inspired you to do what you're doing?
Okay.
That's basically what we're saying. Like there's no passion behind it. It's just, I'm a Christian. This is what I have to do.
So it's my mission.
I have to spread the
Yeah.
gospel. But it's like,
Like why? Why do you want to spread the gospel? Why
that's
do you
kind
care
of
about
shallow.
this?
If you ask
Yeah,
me.
It is.
It reminds me, like, I don't really know this person. Maybe it's rumors, but the Fear God brand.
Yeah, Jerry
is-
Lorenzo.
I assume he's Christian, or people have told me. I don't know. I don't really know
I don't
him
know
that
anything
much.
about it.
But something like that is like an example. Like everybody's wearing Fear God type of thing
true.
because he probably put effort in what it looks like, how it feels, the marketing, the XYZ. Not like don't crucify. I don't know him at all.
I mean, but even if you look beyond his lifestyle, it's just like the fact that in common fashion circles, the phrase "fear God" is being, circulated because of the quality of what he puts in. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
bro, you gotta care about this stuff.
you have to care.
You do.
You have. I mean, hey. Y'all need to listen to that Spirit of Exodus episode because this goes hand in hand.
That's what I was saying, bro. I was literally waiting for that.
It goes hand in hand. Oh man.
True. And what else is crazy too is I remember this is one Christian rock band, Flyleaf, right? There was like
It was
all
tough.
around me. They was tough, and a lot of people didn't even know they was. A lot of people didn't even know they was Christian for a while. But they just knew it was really good. It was like, yo, this song is so tough. Like people like, oh, it went platinum in my iPod.
You brought up a good point. Christian rock was high tier, high quality.
Yeah, like
Skillet.
What's his
Oh
name?
my goodness.
Creed performed at the
Wait, Creed was Christian?
Creed. Can
see?
you take me higher to a place where blind men see?
oh
Yeah, there
They
you
were.
go.
I don't think I heard that song,
They were.
but-
Look, and they were playing at the what was
it
the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And they had youngins flying around and all this other that. Can you save me? They were going in.
My sacrifice. Is that that song? Oh,
I think so. I think it's one of their songs.
Gotcha.
But back
I remember
then,
that one. I remember
early
that song.
2000s, Christian
Fine.
rock was on point. You know how I found out a lot of these joints? Because I used to play the game
WWE?
RuneScape, and they used to make
yeah.
PK
the video.
and montages or whatever.
Oh, in the background, the background music.
And they used to have Skillet,
Skillet used to play a
as
lot
the
on
background
them
music. I'm like, what? When I found out it was Christian, I was like, son, this is tough. And they were competing with regular rock bands. Like people who weren't Christian were listening to these rock bands because it was like, nah, this is hard.
It's true. It's true.
So it was like it's there, bro.
It's possible.
I think even back then, if you look at like gospel music, that used to be back then. That used to be like the move.
The epitome of like high quality.
Yeah, it's like
singing.
okay, this person's coming to town. We all, even the youngins that are not Christian, like they're atheists, and they be like, yeah, that song, fire.
It's true.
And it's like, bruh, you never know what that can plan in that person.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh yeah, I remember when my grandma used to play such and such. That song was so tough.
Yeah.
Dang. And then before you know it, now the Lord is doing the work in their heart because the music was so tough that it's memorable.
Yeah.
And youngers used to just go there. And
And even like, what's it called? And even the certain music, right? If you have the fruits of the Spirit in your regular life, it's going to show in your music without even explicitly saying Jesus. There's an artist now, Forrest Frank, who's, blown up a lot in the Christian space. And he still is, but part of Services, the song I'm feeling good, like I should.
oh,
Yeah. So like when I listened to them a lot, right? And when I first heard them, I was like, they're not explicitly Christian, but like I could tell that
Is
they're
he Christian?
different. Yeah, he is. Like
Oh,
he's
snap.
solo.
Okay, shout out to you, Forrest.
Yeah, so now he does like solo music and he does like explicit Christian stuff now.
Yeah.
But like before them, even when it wasn't part of the duo Surfaces, it was like
Surfaces.
I was like, y'all are like
Yeah,
there's
I
something
like
about
them.
y'all that's different.
Surfaces
Yeah.
is tough.
I
They
like
are
them.
tough. I like them a lot.
They're
really
Christian?
good. Yeah.
I didn't know
Well,
that.
they're Christian, right? Yeah, they're Christian. The one dude is for sure Christian. He
Okay,
makes a lot of
I see
Christian
what you're
content.
saying.
Yeah.
Side note, fun fact about that song, he didn't actually think it was like his best song and didn't want to put it out. And he put it out and it went crazy. So don't hold on to your content too much. You never know where it could go.
That song's fire.
Don't be a perfectionist and then you stagnate.
Of course,
and
That's why we're
loving
suffering
that.
quality right now because people listening right now not putting anything out.
they're not putting nothing out.
Yeah, put that joint out.
This is your sign.
Put that joint out.
Put
Put it out, man.
That was
what
crazy too.
Yeah.
Is like you might like a song, but the artists themselves don't like that song.
That's what
And
he
I'm
said.
like, bruh.
He didn't think it was his best song,
It
the song
literally
that he
happens.
liked, and that's
Dang.
what put him all the way on.
I remember I met one of
So-
my favorite artists, and I was like, I really like those things. I hated that song. And I was like, bro, what? I used to message her in college all the time.
all the time.
Yeah, but I know we've been focusing a lot about like music and what's it called, fashion and movies and things. But this can literally apply to almost any field or any industry, right? There's a way to, one, be Christian, produce high quality content, and do what you need to do, right? And fulfill the mission. Yeah. But there's one more aspect that I wanted to add to kind of add into this conversation is that when you are Christian and you are in these industries and spaces, I believe, like, unfortunately, because we are on this earth, right? Earth is fault. There's a cap that you can reach, right? I don't think you will be as prominent or prevalent as Drake or Katy Perry or all of those things, no matter how.
You might be able to do Katy Perry now.
no matter how high the quality is. And that is because fundamentally people are just going to disagree with the fact that you're a Christian or that you are putting out Christian content and things like that. So not to say that the level that we're at now, we should remain there, but I think we should expect adversity in doing that. That's a part of the journey that will come. So if you are doing this and you feel like you are putting in the effort and it's high quality and the numbers don't look the same compared to ex secular artists, do not be discouraged. It doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong or doing something bad. It may mean that your time hasn't came. It may mean that, you know, sometimes people are just not going to like you because of what you believe and things like that. But continue, right? Continue, because by God's grace, you know, us on this pod and others will support and we can fix this epidemic.
If it's good.
Yeah.
Asterisk gotta be good, child.
Asterisk, 2 asterisks, 3 asterisks.
I do have one.
No, go ahead.
I feel like we're about to wrap out.
We can wrap out too.
Right? No.
Yeah, throw that. Quality.
Where's the quality? I would say this, Christian creatives, like, literally trust the Holy Spirit in yourself, bro.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Emphasis on try.
I'll try.
Hard.
Of course, try. But I would say trust the Holy Spirit in yourself. We want to, you know, everyone. There are some Christian, like, people that are, like, really passionate about this stuff, and they want to make something, like, different. They want to make something, like, a little strange, a little off-putting. Maybe it's something that, like, it's talking about, like, what you went through. Let's say you went through something like really harsh, and you want to put in a song, or you want to showcase it in a movie or some way, shape, or form. And it might be not picked up by all Christian people, but somebody is gonna get the message. Yeah. So I would say, like, trust, like, the God that's in you, trust instead of like,
No. Go ahead.
No, I was basically saying, like, because sometimes people, they feel like if others are judging, it's like, dang, this must be. Not others are judging, but if others are not feeling it, or it doesn't look like what other people like or what they show. It's like, dang, this joint must not be the move. Yeah. But it's like, you're a Christian too. Like, and if you're walking and you're, you know, literally journeying with
mentors
God.
too.
Yeah, you got mentors. You're journeying with God. Sometimes it's okay to put, just being honest, it's okay to put a little trust in yourself. Of course, listen to wisdom and everything like that, because, you know, wisdom is going to come. But, like, you know, don't be so scared, bro. Yeah. Don't be so scared. Yeah. Don't be so scared.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say, to his point, I'm still thinking about, like, the Bible and, like, how holistic it is. And so, like, people may think, like, oh, their story is too, like, negative, or, like, it's not gonna. But I'm thinking, like, the story of Job, like, that whole book is just sorrow.
Negativity,
but at the end of the day, it's like there's a silver lining. It's like God's glory was still shown throughout that whole book of sadness. Yeah. So, like, there's an audience, like, that will resonate with what you're talking about. Yeah. As long as you just be authentic. I think the main thing that we miss with Christian creators, like, you're just not authentic. You're just pretend like everything is rosy. It's like, just be authentic. People will gravitate towards that, and then at the end of the day, just point them to, like, the solution. Like, I went through this, I went through that, but at the end of the day, God
Man,
saw me through. And people will be like, all right, that makes more sense than just like,
it's realistic.
everything. It's realistic.
You can relate to it. And that kind of, man, thinking that kind of reminds me of why sometimes Christian like movies may be cheesy because it's not
It's like a rom-com. When you're watching rom-coms, you don't really take those seriously.
Yeah. And like some rom-coms are fun, but sometimes I want to see something a little hard-hitting.
And what's crazy too, I think that's why I resonated more with Christian rap than like CCM, right? Because I found the rap more relatable to like what I'm going through, what I'm journeying through. Like there's songs in rap that like pointed me back to the word, and I'm like, oh dang. They was talking about,
rap pointed you back to your word.
Straight up. No, listen, right?
This
is gonna be crazy, but like I didn't know Peter cut someone's ear until I heard it in a song. Like,
dang,
just something
that
like
happens.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like just hearing stuff like that, I'm like, dang, like. There's art, like comes similar to what he was saying, like there's art for everybody, and like you're gonna find your niche audience, like. And I think too, depending on like the media that you're in, gets judged a little harsher, right? Because even in the space of rock versus rap, I feel like the Christian fans are gonna judge like the rappers harder for not like having Jesus explicitly in their songs versus like the people in the rock, just because most Christian music fan bases, happen to be a certain demographic, right? And I just think some like forms of media are gonna get judged harsher just because of like the nature of the fan base and stuff like that.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. And they want to that authenticity point that you was talking about, Ahide. This is gonna be like our last point, but that was really good. Like tying it to it being cheesy and things like that. And it reminds me of like the preacher and teachers that elevated to the top. My favorite ones are people that feel like real people that you can relate to, that talk about real stories. Like, dang, now you was out here actually in the streets. Wow. Like you was actually living life and the Lord saved you.
Or you
and it makes
stuff
me
that sounds real. Like what's that author? Miles Monroe.
Yeah, he tough.
Any of his books, they just feel like, oh, this is a human wrote this.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I think, man, it's not going to be easy, especially in movies, like the balance between portraying a real story and the mission. I know it's hard because like, for example, like if you wanted to portray a story of like real life, what you experience out there, like you're going to have to get actors that act like people out there, right? And I'm not saying that those actors should curse or anything, but figuring out the balance of portraying a real story and still having it be palatable.
That's the whole creativity part.
That's the tough part.
I mean, that's what God gave you the spirit to like be creative and
figure
know how to push the boundary without pushing it or compromising. Yeah, exactly.
Because youngins don't be gay, but they're able to act gay on TV.
I was about to say that. Like people be doing something that
youngins don't be killing, but it looked like, this youngin looks like he could kill somebody on the street.
Yeah.
Just because of the way he's acting. Like John Barenthal, he did The Punisher. That youngin also did King Richard. He was a tennis coach. Yeah. In The Punisher, that youngin looks like, if I pass him by on the street, that man's gonna kill me. Yeah. But he's just an actor.
Yeah. It makes me think of like the Passion of Christ, right? Somebody had to play the devil.
Yeah,
and how to play it convincingly,
and that John was convincing young kids.
Somebody played, and this is Christian. So like they were trying to portray a true story, but like somebody had to play the devil. So there was like a balance of that, and I don't know the lives of the people that acted, but it played into the actual content, and we saw how impactful it was at that time. So, man, say all that to say, man. This podcast was made to like show unlimited creativity in Christ. If you have a desire field where it doesn't look hopeful, there is a will. Where there's a will and the Holy Spirit, there's a way, right?
Period.
Look for quality, put that thing out there, grow, learn, push the envelope, and we'll all solve this epidemic together.
Epidemic is crazy.
It's an epidemic. But yeah, with that, y'all, it's a wrap. See y'all.
God, you been good, you changed my life. Trusting in your will, not thinking twice. Shining on the hill just like a light. I would never buy into the hype.